Hello and welcome to my review of the Genestealer Cults Biophagus model, or Biophagus, I call him Biophagus. This model will cost you £15, and yes, he does come with the little familiar on the left hand side. It's really odd to have this model in the similar size of like Clamavus and the Magus and stuff on the 25mm base. I understand why the familiar is on there, but hey, nothing's stopping you from finding the bases in your set and just popping him on a 32mm if you really want. But as he comes with a 25mm base, that's what I've put him on. You know, most of the army's on 25mm base too. Anyway, I think it's really cool model, super easy to put together. I do like all the attention to detail on him, like the vials and the syringe. He's in like this Medicae kind of outfit, but in the normal Genestealer Cult kind of mining gear. He's got this awesome injector goad, it's called. Basically probably just grabs someone or something, and then he's got, you know, needles and injectors and stuff on the end of it, and he just pushes that lever and then it squirts whatever inside them. Anyway, he's taking health and safety very seriously because he's got his safety goggles on, and he's got his collar up to the max. He's got his auto pistol like they all have, and then he's got this awesome like Medicae kind of computer thing that's also attached to the injector goad. He's got his little Tyrannid Genestealer Cults icon token there, and he's got some forceps, I think they are. Also there's like you know, like one of those surgery kind of lamps, and then this vestibule, I want to call it vestibule, I don't know, and then he's got like a little lamp light headlight type thing there, and some vials on the side. So lots going on in this model, really cool. And you also get this awesome Alchemicus familiar, he's called, with this massive flask with some vapor and things coming out, and he's holding this cork. Again, he's got the goggles and holding this with the claws. He's got the 3 arms. Yeah, just a tiny little familiar. Very cute though, these familiars. I do like the smaller models that Games Workshop make. Okay, let's just show you some size comparison, see where he stands up with the rest of the range. So here's a Clamavus. He is very similar. It's a tiny bit smaller because Clamavus is standing on a book, but the Clamavus definitely has more presence. He's on a 32mm base. He would overshadow the Biophagus, you know, model wise on the battlefield and things, compared to the Magus. Yeah, definitely overshadowed by her. She's a very tall model, and again on the much bigger base. Let's just show you him compared to you know, some Imperial models. So here's a Space Marine. He's actually similar size, if not a tiny bit taller than the Space Marine. He's very upright. If the Space Marine was upright, it'd be a bit taller. But there you go. Hope that helps. And then compared to the Intercessor, yeah, the Intercessor's a fair bit taller than him. A lot more bulk. Yeah, just to show you a size comparison with the familiar look and the Intercessor. Absolutely tiny compared to the Primaris. So I hope that helps. Now this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for him. So you'll find him in your brand new 8th edition Genestealer Cult Codex. He is an elite choice. He costs a power points cost of a 2, which is really cheap actually. But if you want the Alchemicus familiar, you're going to have to add a power rating of +1. So yeah, he's going to be a power points cost of a 3, let's face it. He's going to be a match points cost of 35, and then with the familiar that's an extra 12, so that's 47 points, making him the cheapest option in the elites section, other than the Locus, you know, character wise that is. So his stat line: his movement is 6 inches, his weapon skill and ballistic skill 3+, his strength and toughness are both 3, he's got 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a save of 5+. It's not the best stat line out of all of the elite choices. It's the same stat line as the Clamavus. So these kind of troop type choices, you know, do have the same stat line, and it's the same stat line as the Nexus as well, I might add. The Alchemicus familiar is a 6-inch movement, weapon skill 3+, no ballistic skill, strength 4, toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 8, and a save of 6+. So yes, I read that right. The familiar is stronger than a Biophagus. Just thought I'd put that out there. A Biophagus is a single model armed with an auto pistol and injector goad. It may be accompanied by an Alchemicus familiar, power rating of +1. I said that. His auto pistol, same as all the other auto pistols, so it's a range of 12 inches, pistol 1, strength 3, AP 0, and a damage of 1. Now, this is one of the reasons why you get him, is the injector goad. It's a melee weapon, his strength is +1, so already that puts him at the same strength as the familiar at strength 4. AP is 0 though, but the damage is D3. Now, doesn't matter about the strength side of things, because the weapon always wounds on a 2+, unless it is targeting a vehicle or titanic unit. If a character loses any wounds as a result of an attack from this weapon, you roll a d6 for it after all of the bearer's attacks have been resolved. If the result is higher than the model's wounds characteristic, it suffers D3 mortal wounds. Now that's awesome. So enemy character loses any wounds, you roll a d6. So if they've got like 2 wounds left, I suppose, and you roll a 3, then you know you roll a d3, and it could be 5. You know, then they've lost 3 mortal wounds. So this guy is gonna wreck face against characters and models with, I don't know, 3 or 4 wounds or so, especially if they've lost a wound from that injector goad. It's going to be very nice cumulative kind of damage. So you want to get him in there and grab him with that injector goad and do some more damage. Now that's not all though. His abilities: Cult Ambush, Unquestioning Loyalty. He's also got Genomic Enhancement. This model can enhance one friendly cult aberrant unit that is within 1 inch of it at the end of your movement phases. Roll a d6. On a 1, one model from the selected unit is slain. Then roll a d3 and refer to the table below to see what a bonus the survivors gain for the rest of the battle. A unit can only be the target of this ability once per battle. So that sucks in a way because it's only 1, but you can basically grab an aberrant and then you roll a d6. You get a 1 and it is slain, but then you roll a d3 to see what happens. So I'm not quite sure if you then roll a d3 after you have to get a roll of a 1. It doesn't say that specifically, but I would just roll a d6, and if you don't get a 1, then you roll a d3. That's the way I'm sort of reading it. I don't think they'd want you to roll a 1 and then get a unit to be slain, but hey, please put it in the comments if you think I'm wrong with that. So the D3 bonuses, on a 1 you get enhanced musculature, which is +1 strength. Now a D3 of 1 is obviously 1 or 2. Again, this isn't very clear, but it should be because it's a D3. On a D3 of a 2, enhanced resilience, so +1 toughness, and then on a D3 of a 3, enhanced aggression, +1 attacks. This is where I'm getting a bit confused, because it says to see what bonus the survivors gain for the rest of the battle. You can only target the unit once per battle as well. So you can only have one of these things once. Now it says the survivors get, so I'm thinking the way it's worded is that you have to get a 1 to get that model slain. That sucks. That's not going to give you many chances at all. Then Alchemicus Familiar. If a Biophagus is accompanied by an Alchemicus Familiar, then once per game, when the Biophagus uses its Genomic Enhancement ability, its Alchemicus Familiar can aid it. If it does so, roll 2d3 when rolling on the Genomic Enhancement table and choose which result to apply. Again, that still depends on rolling that 1 to get one model from the selected unit to be slain. So it's still based on you getting a 1 on 1d6. The death of an Alchemicus Familiar is ignored for the purposes of morale tests, and the Alchemicus Familiars are considered to have the character keyword for the purposes of shooting attacks. Okay, so you can't target them sort of individually. Now the keywords: Tyranids, Genestealer Cults, Infantry, Character, Biophagus, Infantry, Familiar, Alchemicus Familiar. So, as you can see, the Genomic Enhancement is a bit odd the way it's kind of written. However, the injector goad is quite clear. He's quite a small points cost for this model. Yes, he's very squishy, but if you've got aberrants, you really need this guy near them all the time. He's a perfect little bonus character for your aberrants, but you need to get that 1 to get that Genomic Enhancement. Yeah, you might as well take the Alchemicus Familiar as well, just to roll 2d3. So it gives you a bit of choice of which bonus you get. However, you might get a 3 and a 4 on both dice, in which case you're going to have to forced into using +1 toughness anyway. Maybe I'm missing something with this Biophagus, but put it in the comments below if I am. It'd be great to hear your thoughts, what you think of the model and the rules. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. For the Norm Queen.